Welcome to Thriver's Ed, the podcast that's all about giving you the practical, no-nonsense advice you need to level up your life and business. I'm your host, Marcy Rossi, success coach, business strategist, and alcohol-free enthusiast. If you're ready to crush your goals, optimize your productivity, and live your best, most authentic life, then you're in the right place. Each week, we'll dive into topics like the psychology of success, practical strategies to boost your performance, and the unexpected ways living alcohol-free can elevate your life. Whether you're looking to boost your business, improve your health, or simply become a better version of yourself, Thriver's Ed is here to help you do just that. So grab your iced coffee, buckle up, and let's get thriving. So recently I heard a coach tell one of her clients that a 25% email open rate was amazing. And I honestly almost fell out of my chair because I would never say that. The thing is, I'm not a jerk, but I'm direct. I am honest. I am not a person who's going to sugarcoat things and make you feel like everything you've ever done is absolutely perfect if what you want is actually results. So as my clients know when they work with me, I don't give unsolicited advice, but I do give them real answers, and they know this. And sometimes they will ask me, my thoughts on something they've written or something they've created and sent, and they'll ask me straight for my advice, and I will always warn them, not to be harsh or not to be overly direct. And they already know that, and they're like, yeah, tell it to me anyways. And it's because I'm not here to waste anybody's time. My clients don't hire me for all the sunshine and sparkles and, feel goodiness. They come here because they want help. They don't want to waste their time on bad decisions, on bad trends, on bad advice. They want what works. And I communicate that in a way that is not hurtful or, I'm never going to insult my clients. I'm just like, I wouldn't do this again. And I'll give them the reasons. I give them the experience. I've tried a lot of these things. I am a true experimenter. And so a lot of my advice is based on having tried the thing, having paid for a lot of experts and learned from a lot of coaches and what works, and seeing behind the back end of their business to see how things are working. And, sometimes it's just again, through my own experience. If you've written something that, when I say you've written, I'm using air quotes, but you can't see me, but that reads straight like ChatGPT, I'm going to tell you. And it's because as someone who uses the tool a lot, I know the kind of output that it gives when we don't know how to actually train it, how to give it prompts that actually sound like us, right? I'm going to save you the trouble of writing things that don't sound like you and therefore aren't going to connect with your audience. If you have, ideas of you want to create this customer journey where when they book with you, they have to fill out 14 forms with 82 questions and do this, that, and the other and jump through a lot of hoops, I can tell you from experience, from everything I've learned, from all the sales psychology books and articles and stuff that I've read, that this is going to cause friction, and friction does not lead to sales. It slows growth. So I will tell them, based on my knowledge and experience, perhaps what I might do or some things that they should look out for, instead of just the cheerleader, you're the best, that's amazing, keep it going, sweetie type of thing. Now, some people need that. Some people want that. All they want is encouragement. They are hard enough on themselves that they don't need any room for doubt. They just need that person that's like, I see you, you're doing amazing, sweetie. I'm picturing that meme from, I guess it's Kris Kardashian or whatever, where she's cheering on Kim. That's not me. I will support my clients. I support them wholeheartedly. And you can see that from the results that they get, from the testimonials that they leave me. They truly love working with me because there is the support there, but tied in with the real answers. And I don't pretend to know everything. A lot of the time, my answer will be let's test it. Let's see what's going to happen. Because no matter how much experience I have, no matter how much knowledge I have, I can't know everything. We can get a clear picture of who your ideal audience is, but unless we go out there and try some messaging types, try some offers, we're never going to know what is going to specifically work. It just doesn't work like that. That's what being an entrepreneur is trying things. So to go back to that example of that person who said 25% is great, I was really shocked because I don't think it is. It's not industry average. I actually looked it up before this because I was curious. MailChimp right now gives emails in the business to finance area a 31% open rate, I think is on average, meaning some people do a lot higher, some people do lower. 25%, 31%, not a huge gap. So yeah, we could argue it's kind of in line with industry average, but I think that's misleading because it's definitely not what's possible. And it's definitely not something we want to aim for. 25% might not be bad, but surely there's a lot of room for growth that is absolutely possible. My own open rate, I was looking over the last year, the lowest it ever was 41%, which was this summer in July, where I was doing a lot of selling. So there were a lot more emails coming through, and people picked up on that. And, by the third or fourth, like, hey, doors are closing type of email, they stopped opening those. But those email open rates went back up, and we're back to 48%, which is my general average. So if I could have a 25% open rate or a 48% open rate, that's a massive difference, right? It's definitely possible to have something much, much higher. So why should we settle for thinking 25% is great? Now, part of it is knowing what your motivation is behind it. Like, what are your goals? So if your goal is simply to have a large list, you don't actually care if you have any influence on them, you don't actually care if they're reading anything you've ever sent them, then your open rate doesn't actually matter. What actually matters to you is the subscriber number, the total number that's on there. There are reasons you might want that, like maybe you have an intention of wanting to publish a book someday, and, traditional publishers are going to want to know about your sphere of influence and be able to say, like, I have 10,000 people on my list. That might look a little bit more impressive than someone who only has like 3,000 or 4,000 people on their list. But if your open rate's 25%, then 3 out of 4 people, say 25%, 3 out of 4 people are actively ignoring you. Like, they are ignoring all of the emails you're sending. They're either sending you straight to trash, you're filtered already into the trash, they're just hitting delete as soon as you come in, or marking you as spam instead of actually going in and unsubscribing, because that's an additional step. Like, you have no influence on those people. It would be the same effect as if you just walked out in your backyard and just shouted while everybody's doors are closed and windows are closed. Like, you have no influence, so you might as well not even have those names. So yeah, again, if you're just trying to impress people, to say I have a large list, or you want to be involved in certain activities that require a list minimum, then by all means, ignore the fact that 3 out of 4 people are ignoring you. But I think we can do better. And these are the kind of things that I tell my clients, because I know what's possible. I've seen it in my own business. I've seen it in my clients' business. So besides the fact that 3 out of 4 people are ignoring this poor girl, I think there's some other things we need to be aware of when we're looking at our open rate. If we have a low open rate, that can affect your future deliverability. So I'm giving a presentation next month on how to increase deliverability to, help your emails avoid the spam and the promotions folder, and really just setting up your email systems the right way. These are type of things I give presentations on over and over again. And part of the thing to be aware of there is if we have lower open rates, Gmail and Outlook and Yahoo, they're more likely to send our emails straight into the spam folder. And that means new subscribers who may actually be interested in what it is that we have to say might not even see our emails. I honestly will clean out my spam folder every once in a while simply because I hate having like unread emails there, but I'm not reading them. Like I'm browsing through, it's not active. It's like, every 2 weeks, once a month, maybe I go through, I give a quick skim and delete, but I possibly am missing some important information if that's where things are landing, because the person sending them didn't do the work to actually make sure that the emails they're sending are things that people are wanting to read. This is an avoidable problem. Landing in that promotions folder, that spam folder, is an avoidable problem, but not if we never bother to look at why so many people are ignoring our emails and trying some things to fix it. Again, trying. I don't have the perfect answer for this person to get that 25% to 48%, but I do have some techniques that I've tried that have obviously worked, and I do have some advice that we could test as a true entrepreneur, as an experimenter, to figure out what works. So let's look at that. If that were me, if I were the coach in this situation and someone had 25%, that's a great start. So how do we improve this? Well, there are a bunch of different things. The first thing I'm going to suggest is to clean out that list, meaning to get rid of the dead weight. And yes, that's going to be hard. I'll tell you, I've been in business a while, and sometimes I still get annoyed at the unsubscribe number there, seeing people unsubscribe. It's like, oh, I guess you didn't care about all the goodness that I have to share. Like, it's a little bit, we put a lot of work and thought into our emails and the communications that we're sending. And for someone to say, blech, I don't want this, like, it hurts. I get it. But also, if they weren't going to buy from you, they weren't going to buy from you. Keeping them on your list longer wasn't going to change that opinion. I don't know in what world someone ignores an email that someone had been sending them for 3, 6, 9, 12 months, and then magically one day opens it and then decides to start purchasing from you. Like, that, I guess, could happen, but I would rather have that person come find me again when they're ready for me than to just try to tank my deliverability rate simply because at this point they don't care what I have to say. And also, I'm paying for that person to be on my list, right? A lot of email service providers will charge you based on how many subscribers you have, or actually, they'll limit the number of emails that you can send per month. So this person is clogging up your list. You're actually paying for them to be on there, and they could not care less what you have to say. So with love, let them go. Right? They can come back in the future if they decide that they want to. But if they're not opening your emails, they have no intention of buying from you. They have no interest in what you have to say clearly, so let them go. So my first tip is clean out the list. What I'm currently doing is a person hasn't opened an email from me in 90 days. Now with MailerLite, I had to add another line that says they've been in my program for at least 90 days. And that way, if someone signed up yesterday, then obviously they didn't open an email 90 days ago because they just started hearing from me. So this just catches everybody. But what it's really pulling is someone who has gotten emails, at least one email from me in the last 90 days and opened 0. Now, if you're on my list, you've gotten a lot more than one email in 90 days from me. So you've had multiple chances over and over again to see if anything I have to say resonates with you, and it hasn't. So that's not going to change. It's just not. There might be one magical unicorn out there in the universe who, like I said, ignores an email for a year and magically comes back. But I'm not going to pay for that off chance of that ever happening. They're welcome to come find me again in the future if they change their mind. So cut your list, pick a time period. I'm doing right now 90 days. I think initially when I set it up, I did 6 months. Again, because it was hurting my own feelings to let these people go. But it's also why I have nearly half of the people I send emails to actually open my emails. And that is far above that MailChimp average of like 30 to 35%. So clean out your list. Do it regularly. I do mine once a month. I go in, pull the inactive subscribers, and let them go with love. And my list size keeps growing because I'm pulling in people who actually care. Number 2 is to look at your subject lines. So we don't want to clickbait, but we want to give people a reason to open. I can do a whole episode on writing subject lines, but like generally we want to avoid things that look spammy, like free in all caps, or writing the whole subject line in all caps, or even honestly just telling them everything that's in the email. If we don't have a little intrigue, a little personality, a little fun, what's the point of opening it? So we need to give them a reason to actually open the email and do it in a way that sounds interesting, right? That doesn't feel scammy or spammy or clickbaity, but gives them, like, again, some kind of interest in what you have to say, what it is that you're here to give them. Number 3 is, actually, it probably should have been one of the first ones that you're doing, but it's to make sure that you've set up your domain correctly, that you've authenticated it with the proper DMARC records. So it depends on what email service provider you're using, but essentially we want to make sure that we're sending our business emails from a domain we actually own, so we're not sending them from an @Gmail or @Yahoo, and that we've set it up correctly to prove to Gmail and Outlook and Yahoo and whoever it is your customers are actually using for their email programs, to prove to them that we do in fact own our domain. We've set everything up correctly, that it has been authenticated so that those other providers, Google, Outlook, Yahoo, will actually put our email into the inbox instead of in the promotions folder. Number 4 is to give your people what they actually want, right? So we're not going to do a bait and switch here. If you have a freebie that is on one thing and then all of your emails talk about something else, then that's not what they wanted from you. That's not what they expected from you. So we're not doing a bait and switch here, making sure that the emails that we're sending are actually good, that we are providing some kind of value, and that value can be tips, it can be entertainment, it can be, a peek behind the curtain, getting to know you, like a friendship conversation, whatever that is, but give them a reason to want emails from you. It can't only just be buy my thing, buy my thing, buy my thing. And the last tip I would be to make it feel personal, to add some kind of flair so that you're showing that you're listening to your audience, that what you have to say matters to this person and not just shouting out into the void. Really making sure that we are being thoughtful, intentional, and strategic with the types of content that we're sending out. So how to improve your email deliverability rates is a full-blown topic. In fact, that's why I'm teaching a full class on this in someone's mastermind next month. But that honestly wasn't the point of the story. The point of the story is to find someone who will tell it like it is. If you're looking for a coach who's going to tell you that every idea that you've ever had is absolutely brilliant, I'm going to be honest, I'm not your girl. But if you want someone who's going to get in the trenches with you, who's going to help you make smart, strategic decisions, that's what I do. That is what I do with my clients all day, every day, when they are asking me for advice and we are figuring out the best course of action. And we are testing in a way that allows us to measure the results and to improve, to iterate, to try something new. We're not just going off of, blind trends or just doing what someone who made millions 10 years ago is telling us what to do. We're doing what is actively working, what actively works for us, what we're actually interested in doing, and looking at the data to make sure that's supporting us, that we're not just continuing down a path that's never going to serve us simply because it served someone else. So if you're here for that true, honest advice, I would love to support you. There are so many ways that I do this. I offer private coaching where you get an all-access pass to me. You book as many calls as you want, as many conversations as you want. You can send me messages and I am there for you. And you also get access to all of my digital products in the shortcut. I'm building things for you and you're getting that coaching from me, right? I'm actually setting up the pieces in alignment with your direction, your goals, and your vision. And I'm there to offer my thoughts, experiences, and knowledge if and when you want it. And if not, I'm there to help you implement it. But that's really, I think, where people find the value, because anybody can set things up for you, but setting things up in a way where you have a strategic partner helping you decide what is going to be the best direction to accomplish your goals is really the most supportive and I think effective path that you can possibly choose. And there's the fast pass where I kind of it's like a little mini shortcut. So I'm only building one thing for you, but we still have that call in the beginning to make sure that you know where you're headed. Or if you want to jump off a one-on-one call with me for 90 minutes where we'll plan out your whole strategy, we can do that too. I have lots of ways that I can support people, but really, like I said, the goal of this was to let you know that I'm okay if I'm not your girl. I'm okay if you don't want to hear from my emails ever again, and you're more than welcome to unsubscribe, or I will let you go with love if it turns out that you're never opening my messages. But if you're tired of all of that fake, cheerful, supportive nonsense fluff, if you do want someone who's going to help give it to you straight, who's going to give you real answers to things and not just try to make you feel good, but to actually help you achieve your goals, I'm here for you. I can't wait to support you. Reach out to me, text the show, send me a message, email me, however you want to get in contact. Let's chat. Let's figure out how we can actually get that 25% rate to that 48% rate, or whatever your goal is. I'm here to show you the way. So with that, until next time, keep thriving.